Coming up, it's a battle of the giants as Big Brute Van Slyke and the 7-foot giant Pharaoh go one-on-one. We'll take a look at a shocking development that took place after the 2016 Iron Maiden Championship. We'll have a rundown of what's taking place at NECW 16th Anniversary Spectacular Bash 16. And we'll hear from former WWE Superstar JTG, who has words for the stars and fans of NECW. Don't click away, because it all comes your way next on this edition of New England Championship Wrestling. We take you back to July 2nd, 2016, the Brockton Fair, and there you see one half of the NECW Tag Team Champions, Brute Van Slyke, standing 6 foot 8 inches tall, a giant of a man, in appropriately a battle of the giants here on this episode of New England Championship Wrestling. Big Brute steps over that top rope. An awesome sight for sure. Big Brute Van Slyke looking for the microphone.
Did I hear that right? Did I hear that this contest is a battle of the giants? Well, I didn't drive all the way from New York, not to get my title shot here tonight, but I guess that's not for me, it's for somebody else. Whoever you got out there, you better send them back, because let me tell you this, I don't care how big he thinks he is, because Brute Van Slyke is so big!
Well, Brute Van Slyke is big indeed, but not quite as big as the man he is about to face. Conspicuous by his absence, the manager of Brute Van Slyke, one James Maddox. And then ominous music can mean only one thing, the 7-foot giant Pharaoh. Returning to the Brockton Fair is the Giant Pharaoh, a big favorite in Brockton, Massachusetts, as well as anywhere NECW appears. What a matchup and what a challenge for the 7-foot Giant Pharaoh. Fans just awestruck at the sight of the 7-foot giant. And fans, speaking of awestruck, we're going to give you all the details on an awesome event coming up. Bash 16, the 16th anniversary of New England Championship Wrestling. All titles will be defended, and much more. Another history-making event from New England Championship Wrestling, and we're going to tell you all about it and how to get tickets a little later in this broadcast. I think the Giant Pharaoh has something to say here. Smile on the face of the Pharaoh as he stares down Van Slyke. Pharaoh trying to psych out Big Brute Van Slyke. This has got to be a rare occasion for Van Slyke, being the smaller man in the match.
This match is set for one fall in this 30-minute time limit. Your referee is Jack Hill. Introducing first from Oneida, New York, weighing in 340. You fucked up.
Correction there.
Oneida, New York. He is one half of the NECW Tag Team Champions, Brute Van Slyke. And his opponent from Alexandria, Egypt, weighing in 315 pounds, standing 7 feet tall, the Giant Pharaoh.
The 7-foot Giant Pharaoh getting set to move out against the 6-foot 8-inch tree trunk of a man in Brute Van Slyke. This should be interesting. Referee Jack Hill has called for the bell. We are underway here as these two men go collar and elbow, trying to jockey for position here. Van Slyke now with Pharaoh in the corner. Big Brute winds up and misses, and Pharaoh tags him. Right under the chin goes Pharaoh, and a big chop to the chest. Van Slyke sent to the opposite side. Pharaoh with a big chop right across the skull of Brute Van Slyke. Off the ropes. Ducks the clothesline. Van Slyke has no luck with a shoulder tackle. Pharaoh just smiles at him. Pharaoh says, "My turn." Pharaoh off the ropes. Can't budge the big man. A little Egyptian standoff here, so to speak. Van Slyke cannot budge the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh is not having any luck with Big Brute either. Pharaoh now off the ropes. Clothesline ducked. Pharaoh gets some air here and sends Van Slyke out the opposite side. Took a little more momentum, but the Giant Pharaoh sent Brute Van Slyke to the outside, and the Pharaoh goes after him. Brute jawing with a fan right there and getting it under the jaw from the Giant Pharaoh. Battling on the outside here. Shot to the breadbasket by Van Slyke. Sends Pharaoh into the apron. Van Slyke setting up Pharaoh against the ring post. Big chop right there. Van Slyke charges in, but gets a face full of ring post for his trouble. Pharaoh with a big double chop. Man, that sounded like a gunshot. Big Brute sent back into the ring the hard way. Pharaoh stepping over the top rope. Shot right under the jaw. And speaking of under the jaw, the Pharaoh has 2 handfuls of the whiskers of Big Brute Van Slyke. Yikes. Oh, man. Pharaoh goes for it again. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, says Brute. Sent to the opposite side by Pharaoh. Big karate thrust right to the throat of Brute Van Slyke, and another. Pharaoh getting up ahead of steam, charges in. And now, Brute follows Pharaoh in with a big clothesline. Big clubbing blow by Brute Van Slyke, one half of the NECW Tag Team Champions. course, the Tag Team Championship not on the line in this matchup. But it will be on the line at Bash 16, Saturday night, September 10th. A fantastic card. A history-making event. What an opponent for NECW Heavyweight Champion Toto Loco. We'll have all the news on that and much more a little bit later in this broadcast. Brute says, you want to see me body slam him? Yeah, I'd like to see that. I don't think it's going to happen. Brute trying to get some leverage here on the 7-foot Giant Pharaoh. Finally gets him up, but Pharaoh falls on top of him. 2 count only. What would have worked with a normal man is not going to work with the Giant Pharaoh. Brute catches Pharaoh in the breadbasket. Sets the big man up, reversed, off the ropes. Clothesline ducked. And now it's Brute grabbing Pharaoh under the neck. Reverse chinlock right here. Pharaoh too big to clamp on a sleeper. Brute bringing the Pharaoh down to his knees. Getting a leverage position on the 7-foot Giant Pharaoh. Pharaoh now back up to his feet. Elbows him in the midsection, trying to get out. 3rd time does it. Shot to the top of the head of big Brute Van Slyke. And now Pharaoh's going to try for that body slam, but he's not having any luck. Elbow to the back of the skull. And forearms now by Brute Van Slyke, who winds up the lariat. Pharaoh blocks it, but Brute drills him down to the canvas. Cover right here. 2 count only. Man, it's so hard to button up a guy like the Giant Pharaoh. Brute once again signaling for that big lariat that has put away so many men in so many places over so many years. Pharaoh now. Choke slam on Brute Van Slyke. Both men down. Pharaoh trying to roll over and go for the cover. Has it here, but only 2. Fans, coming up, will show you the aftermath of the 2016 Iron Maiden Championship. We'll also be hearing from former WWE Superstar JTG. He'll be a big part of Bash 16 along with so many others. These two are just slugging away and chopping away at each other. Pharaoh laying the big chops in Brute with those big forearms. Brute sending Pharaoh to the outside. And Pharaoh grabs him by the ankles and pulls him out. Man, look at these 2 big mastodons going at it. Neither man able to score a clear advantage over the other. Oh, some plunder on the outside, doing a number on Brute Van Slyke. Pharaoh, oh man, what a big back double chop. Brute gives it right back to him. The bell has sounded. This is going to be a double count out here. Nothing will be decided in this matchup as Brute gets sent into the side of that U-Haul. Chris Norman is going to have the official word for us. All right, fans, much more to come. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. New England Championship Wrestling celebrates its 16th anniversary with Bash 16, Saturday night, September 10th at the AmeriCal Civic Center, 467 Main Street, Wakefield, Mass, with a 7 p.m. bell time. In the main event, NECW Heavyweight Champion Toto Loco faces the biggest challenge of his career as he defends his title against former WWE star Paul London. Newly crowned Triple W Champion Alexis Nevaeh battles Vanity Vixen. NECW Television Champion Pure Talent Chris Escobar with manager James Maddox defends his title against former three-time NECW Heavyweight Champion Slick Wagner Brown. NECW Tag Team Champions The Regulators face off against the Heavy Hitters. In a first ever last woman standing match, former champion Mistress Belmont squares off against former champion Nevaeh. Former WWE Superstar JTG of Cryme Tyme makes his NECW debut, issuing an open challenge. The selfie-made man, Vern Vicalo, managed by Mr. Tony Ulysses, goes up against former NECW Television Champion, the Heat Chris Pyro. And sensational Scott Levesque battles Tim Lennox. Tickets are on sale now, online at necw.tv or charged by phone by calling 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Don't miss NECW's biggest event of the year, Bash 16, the 16th anniversary, Saturday night, September 10th in Wakefield. Take you back to Saturday night, August 13th, 2016, Wakefield, Massachusetts, the Americal Civic Center. A historic moment for World Women's Wrestling and NECW as Alexis Nevaeh regains the Triple W Championship for the fourth time and becomes the first ever Iron Maiden champion, scoring the only fall in the 30-minute Iron Maiden final. And Alexis addresses the Wakefield crowd.
After that 30-minute match. Yet again, I love talking and I like annoying you. But I'll give you credit when credit's due. You're one badass chick from New York.
Sonya Strong, one of the women in the Iron Maiden final.
This is my home, and this is where the Triple W Championship is going to stay.
Alexis Nevaeh being congratulated by myself and by the legendary Violet Flame. But that would not be the end of the story.
Sorry.
Alexis Nevaeh, in perhaps the crowning moment of her already legendary career, savoring this moment, only to be attacked from behind by Vanity Vixen. And of all people, Sammy Lane comes in, grabs Vixen by the hair, and breaks it up. Vixen now with Sammy Lane in a full Nelson, and Belmont comes in and breaks it up. Vanity Vixen sent packing. And just watch what happens next.
That's right, you forgot. I'm a lot smarter than you think I look.
Sammy Lane and Alexis Nevaeh shaking hands along with Belmont. Who would have thought that 1 year ago, these three women would be standing together in a World Women's Wrestling ring? They're there along with the legendary Violet Flame. What a scene and what a moment. And fans, it continues from there. Saturday night, September 10th, Alexis Nevaeh making her first title defense against Vanity Vixen, and Belmont taking on Nevaeh in a last woman standing match. Fans, coming up, another Bash 16 rundown, and words to the stars and fans of NECW from JTG. New England Championship Wrestling celebrates its 16th anniversary with Bash 16, Saturday night, September 10th at the Americal Civic Center, 467 Main Street, Wakefield, Mass, with a 7 p.m. bell time. In the main event, NECW Heavyweight Champion Toto Loco faces the biggest challenge of his career as he defends his title against former WWE star Paul London. Newly crowned Triple W Champion Alexis Nevaeh battles Vanity Vixen. NECW Television Champion Pure Talent Chris Escobar with manager James Maddox defends his title against former three-time NECW Heavyweight Champion Slick Wagner Brown. NECW Tag Team Champions The Regulators face off against the Heavy Hitters. In a first ever last woman standing match, former champion Mistress Belmont squares off against former champion Nevaeh. Former WWE Superstar JTG of Cryme Tyme makes his NECW debut, issuing an open challenge. The selfie-made man, Vern Vicalo, managed by Mr. Tony Ulysses, goes up against former NECW television champion, the Heat Chris Pyro. And sensational Scott Levesque battles Tim Lennox. Tickets are on sale now, online at necw.tv, or charged by phone by calling 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Don't miss NECW's biggest event of the year, Bash 16, the 16th anniversary, Saturday night, September 10th in Wakefield.
Yo, it's your boy JTG, one half of the most infamous tag team in sports entertainment, Cryme Tyme. And on September 10th, there's a very special occasion going down, and I have to be there. I have to be there for NECW's 16th anniversary. And on that special day, I think I'm going to issue an open challenge to anybody in the locker room who got the balls, the guts, the cojones to go one-on-one with the fly one. So if you're in Boston or if you're in the New England area, you're going to want to be there for the 16th anniversary of NECW. And if you're not there, it's a crime. Chill.